Space. I'm 7 o'clock, company with my brother from another mother. Brother Fox, how are you holding up?
Hey, I'm well. I'm well. Sunglasses and Advil. Last night was mad real. This weekend was tight, but hey, I'm hurting today.
Hey, we can't do Vegas like that anymore. We at the age now where we definitely need a rest in between. Speaking of the devil himself.
Oh, please. Hey, I can't got much good light. I'm in a hotel in Charlotte, but hey, we're gonna make it, baby.
Hey, you here, baby? That's all that matters.
I know that's right. Let's get it.
I know you had to cross a few streets to get here.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I just finished up my sober tour in Las Vegas, so I'm blessed.
Yes, yes. Brother Fox, before we get started, how can the good folks take care of us?
As always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know, the HBO special is the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly, truly goes a long way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about Las Vegas. We're talking about the Las Vegas Fantasy Football Conference, which is an event for networking, collaboration. It's a destination draft. This is year 4 that we just passed. It's Labor Day weekend. And it wouldn't have been the success that it was without Chef Dunna of the Fantasy Shot Callers. I got to give that man his kudos. Very, very few people in the industry want it as bad as he does. And this man, he really, really wants it. He doesn't not only want it for himself, but he wants it for others. So he's invested into this venture and into myself, 7 o'clock, and into Safe Space. And I just couldn't be more thankful, man. He is a grinder. He goes above and beyond. He's selfless. And if he wants to be the best, if he wants to be the captain and the best in the fantasy world, I'm glad to pick up my swords and be his first mate. You know, I'm willing to Zorro and lend him my blades, because that man put in some work. We got shaded, we got disrespected, we had people flake, and he never faltered, man. He stood 10 toes with me, and this weekend wouldn't have been the success that it was without him. So I gotta give a shout out to the original shot caller, Captain America,
Sir.
aka Chef Dunna.
Oh man, we got a chat already.
What'd you say?
I said we got someone in the chat already.
We got someone in the chat already. Where are we at?
Ben McNulty, what up, my brother?
Ben McNulty. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Thank you to everyone that came out. North Carolina. We had them from everywhere. We had them from Detroit. We had them from Sacramento. We had them from the Bay Area. We had them from
Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. We had another one from North Carolina, from Charlotte.
Satchel.
We had one from Charlotte.
Satchel.
I'm blanking on the city that you live in now.
Petaluma.
We had them from Petaluma. So it was nice, and you got made out like a bandit. Somebody got a signed Rasheed Rice jersey. Didn't even know it was signed.
I had no clue. At all.
Yeah, but with that said, I appreciate everyone for making it what it is.
Hey, nephew, Bam, what's good, player?
What's going on, nephew? Let's get into these teams. Big E, how you feel about your squad?
Hey, well,
all blue tent team.
Well, hey, you call it a blue tent team, but I'm projected. They gave me a power rankings of 100, and the closest is Rio of 89.
So I know it's flawed then.
Oh no, it's not flawed.
You said Rio, then I know it's flawed.
The Rio monster. You know, we the draft kings. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely I'm happy with my draft. If you get Christian McCaffrey and he drops to 5, then I'm gonna take that blue tent chance. Then when it comes back around, it comes back to a Drake London kind of situation, and you got Kyron sitting right there. Then now my running backs are taken care of, and then you go Olave, Pickens. I'm really excited with my team. I got it's championship or go home. You know what I'm saying? If you got a blue tenant, sometimes you just got a blue tenant. I hate it, but you got to do it.
Hey, you definitely risked it for the biscuit for sure.
Right. Right.
Maximum upside for sure.
Definitely. I know we always talk about, we want to win. We want to show what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just got to go forward. Balls to the wall. the guys we tell you not to draft, that they're going to be there, and if they fall and they're in the right place, I will draft them.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Because I sure as hell didn't want to have to choose on McCaffrey or passing on him. So I'm glad you made that decision for me. And I happily took Amon-Ra, I think at 5. Or I got him at 6.
I think Amon-Ra, he's very safe. But, I mean, I was telling my friend this earlier. Everybody's safe until injury comes. Amon-Ra just hasn't had one yet. And I'm not trying to.
Yeah, oblique.
No, he has, but I'm talking about, like a blue tint.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not wishing the worst on him, but just NBA, NFL's whole thing it's not fair, man. The injury game is not fair.
No. Brother Fox, you look like you made out of like a bandit, almost too good.
I did. So, like Big E, I actually had the 5th pick in the draft in the Spades League. And I ended up, I took CeeDee Lamb, fell to me at number 5. And then second round, I was able to pick up Derrick Henry, which I was shocked that he fell down to me. Third round, wrapped around and got Travis Kelce. And then the 4th, I got DJ Moore.
Good.
I ended up with Jordan Love as my quarterback, who I'm expecting big things, for the love of the game, right?
You've been hyping him up.
Hey, for the love of the game, bro. Hey, he gonna be eating. And I was able to get some of the people we had mentioned throughout the year. We all of us were very high on Zamir White. I was able to pick up Zamir. Jerome Ford is going to be the starter in Cleveland, and that's one of the most run-heavy offenses in the National Football League. And I got him one of the late rounds. Gus Edwards, running back 1 in San Diego. Oh, not San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers now. I was able to get him with a late round pick. And I even threw a sprinkle out there for Jalen for Daniels, the quarterback from Washington. I think he has a breakout potential, and we may be talking about him as an RG3 kind of clone by midseason.
I like it. I mean, you did what you were supposed to do. You did. Only injury could keep you from coming up next year, in my opinion. I looked at some of those squads. You're definitely top 3, probably most complete. We got one. Are you scared about Pacheco production now that P. Ryan is there? No, P. Ryan been on how many teams this year in his career?
I got this. So when it comes to Pacheco's production, P. Ryan is absolutely going to be taking over that Jerick McKinnon role. Except he's actually slightly better in pass pro than Jerick McKinnon was. Last year, I think P. Ryan had like 65 catches on third downs for the Denver Broncos. He actually did extremely well. I'm not necessarily afraid that Pacheco's production is going to be down, especially early in the season. P. Ryan, he just got on the squad with last Friday. So, he's going to be active for this upcoming game, but I don't see him making a huge impact. Now, by midseason, I think he will be the third down running back, unless it's on short yardage. But I still think Pacheco this is a not necessarily like a make it or break it year, but if he wants that big time contract, Pacheco has to show out. He still hasn't hit that 1,000 yards yet, albeit last year he would have hit it if he wasn't injured at some point. But yeah, I think he's bound for a great year. And we saw the second half of last year, he was balling. He scored the most touchdowns on the Chiefs last year because they kind of had to. And I think this year, with the receivers out there, they're going to have to do 2 high safeties, leaving the box pretty empty. Pacheco going to be he's a fantastic pickup, and I think he's going to be putting up good numbers.
No doubt about it. I think with Pacheco, I don't know. He like Rodney Dangerfield, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't getting no respect. That's why I feel because, you see Steele, you see Prince. When they had Prince, they let him go, obviously. Now P. Ryan has come in, so he just always has to prove himself, but he does. He proves himself. He's a tough runner, so I agree, Brother Fox.
Says, thanks. Maybe I'll try to trade Pacheco like week 4 or 5.
Right.
Shaking my head. Should have got Herbert Sherbert.
Oh, absolutely not. me and Seven actually talked about this offline. A lot of people have been like, man, Justin Herbert has been falling in most leagues. He's available in the 12th, 13th, sometimes 14th round with a lot of teams. And the reality is, when it comes to a Jim Harbaugh as a head coach, he's never had a quarterback that's elite in passing. Even going back to Colin Kaepernick, it's like it, and especially with Greg Roman as your offensive coordinator, like it's going to be a run first offense. I think when I saw Kaepernick, from Alex Smith to Kaepernick to even his college days, he hasn't had an offense that was above 22 in passing. So it's like you really can't expect much more, especially when Herbert doesn't really have the requisite weapons around him to be successful.
No doubt about
a fair statement. I mean, I think Herbert is clearly a better quarterback, definitely by air than Alex Smith and Kaepernick, but he still needs to throw the ball to somebody. The weapons aren't there.
No.
And it's just a run. It's just a run dominant group, head coach and OC. That's what they did in San Francisco. It's what Greg Roman was known for in Baltimore. It's what it is. So I don't have high expectations for Herbert. I think he's still a good quarterback, worth drafting, but I don't know if he's going to be top 12 at the end of the week. And ideally, you really want someone top 6, top 7, because only top 6 make the playoffs.
Herbert is a bye-week quarterback this year.
Drop Chase Brown for what you got, Biggie? What you got?
I think I think keep Brown. Now, y'all might have some news that I don't have, but I just think that Brown, with Moss, 2 guys. Then you got 3 guys on the other side with Zeke and Donald, and then you got the Cook still. That ain't cut him, did they? So
I believe so.
I believe so. That's what I'm saying. So that's 3 guys instead of really 2 guys. And I mean, he showed himself. I like what he did in the preseason. Some of the work that you saw him do. So they wouldn't have been hyping him. I'm saying if he didn't have any talent. I mean, talented guy. I would keep him just to see how the first couple of games roll out. I mean, it might be too late after that. Might be find somebody else that you can drop them. But that's what I would do.
I got you. Yeah, I probably lean Chase Brown. I don't like the O-line. And without Jamar Chase, he's probably going to play. But right now, it don't look like he's going to play. So that kind of worries me, because then now you don't have that dominant X receiver stretching the field. But like to your point, I'd rather have Zach Moss as my competition than Zeke, who is familiar with the team, as well as Dalvin Cook. So I guess Chase Brown it is. What you got, Brother Fox?
I stick with Chase Brown. Again, in the beginning of the season, you can't overreact too much in fantasy football. What always happens is, someone will have a good week 1. The market kind of adjusts, and then by week 3, they are who you thought they were. And Chase Brown has shown flashes of greatness. He just couldn't stay healthy. I think this is his best opportunity. Obviously Zach Moss is going to be in front of him, but he's still going to be in the rotation. And who's to say by weeks 4 or 5 that Chase Brown isn't more involved in the offense, especially in a situation where Jamar Chase is not back on offense.
Yeah, passing downs is Brown. So if you're in a full PPR, I think Brown is going to finish higher than Moss. And it could be a 50-50 split. It could be a 60-40 split to start the season. But I think Brown eventually becomes the starter. I just don't know I don't know what Joe Burrow's going to look like. I don't know.
Yes.
He's coming back. There's other – I feel like I'm making a case for I don't want either running back, to be honest with you. But if it's my last spot, then I'm leaning Brown.
No doubt about it.
He said, I got all 3 Chargers running backs. Do you guys think this is a good idea?
Well, I don't know. Let me answer a little bit of it. I like Gus. I really do. I always continue to talk. With me and Seven, we talked about it. I like Gus. Out of all, I think everybody, most of the time, unless you find the Dobbins lovers, but they just a glutton for punishment. But I don't know. I mean, I just think that, you keep him for the first couple of games, and then you drop. I would drop 2, maybe at least 1, obviously, but I would drop 2. And sometimes, some instances, I don't want to have the backup guy. I might just get a better guy from another team, and then I'll just plug him in instead of just having the running back for that offense. Just for me, I mean, I don't want to go through a subpar JK when I can get somebody else. Maybe a Chubb at that same time. If Gus goes out, then Chubb is coming in. Then I might want to roll with Chubb. Just move away from the team totally. But that's just how I think. But what do you guys think?
So Gus Edwards is the RB1 in that offense. Right. So I would absolutely lean towards the RB1 in a run-heavy offense for sure. Mm-hmm. And you got to think JK has had 2 consecutive years of some serious injuries. They're not just minor. These are some serious injuries. Woo. And generally when it comes to knees, especially at a position where you have to cut and stop on a dime quickly, it's going to take him a lot longer to recover, which is why we haven't seen the J.K. Dobbins that was here in 2021 since. Hell, that J.K. Dobbins may never come back.
No.
I would absolutely lean towards Gus Edwards, and unless Gus Edwards is hurt, I wouldn't even be looking to keep someone like J.K. on my roster.
Yes.
I say you got all 3. Wait until week 1. I think they play the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
See what the snap share looks like. What's my man's name? Is it Vidal? The third rookie.
I'm not hearing good things. I heard good things at first. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, you got all 3. What do you have to lose?
Right.
You have already committed to it. You spent the draft capital or waiver capital. Stick it out. See what the snap share looks like week 1 and then make an assessment. Maybe there's a hot flyer, someone that, there's always a guy week 1 through 4. There's always that waiver wire champion, that Puka or that A-Chan, I would maybe take a look at, I want to say Marshawn Lloyd for Green Bay, if he's available in your league. He's replacing A.J. Dillon, who had 200 carries and 200 touches last season. And I want to say Josh Jacobs has never finished a complete season in Oakland/Las Vegas. So there's a good opportunity. They spent the draft capital after they signed him. They still spent a 3rd rounder on him. When he's healthy, he's going to be a contributor. He may not ever overtake and be the starter, but he'll be a contributor for sure in that Packers offense. You want, even though you don't know who the guy is, you still want a piece of it if you can. Just a sliver of the pie means you got to see the table at the end of the day.
There you
go. We got Pittman or Pickens at flex. Ooh.
Put it up on the screen.
Yep. Hey.
Got it up.
Hey, I want to hear Fox's take. I know who he gonna say.
Well,
I'm gonna say, go ahead.
I've never been, and I stand on business when it comes to that. I've never been a fan of Pittman.
Yes.
I've never drafted Pittman. I want no parts of Pittman. But in this situation, if Fields was named the starting quarterback, I would like Pickens because I feel like Fields will utilize his talents a little more downfield. The ghost of Russell Wilson as the quarterback right now for the Steelers, it's rough, bro. And I look at it like I'd lean, and it even pains me to say this. I still would lean towards Pittman in this situation just because Anthony Richardson he's a talented kid, and they have a soft schedule, and I think Pittman's gonna kind of light it up a little early in the season. So I would absolutely lean towards Pittman.
Okay. Now I would go Pickens myself. I would go Pickens just because I know they're both the number 1, but I just like Pickens' talent a lot better than Pittman. But I do agree, like you said, the ghost of Russell Wilson, and that's terrible. And I want to rely on Fields because I love Fields, athletic ability. But he just didn't show up fumbling snaps, a lot of different things that you saw in the preseason. He didn't, but he was connecting, in practice with Pickens. They were just talking about the crazy plays that they were doing. So I don't know if he's going to be able to take Russell Wilson's job because they were like, Russ has it for the year. He hasn't, it hasn't materialized into anything. So I'm thinking, like, if he does get it, though, Pickens is going to start going off. So I'm taking Pickens.
We got a new subscriber. What's going on? Welcome. He says, "What's good, fellas? What kind of questions y'all answering tonight?" We mainly do redraft. We don't offer a whole lot of dynasty advice. We don't really do a whole lot of super flex. It's more just a traditional old school redraft. Full PPR.
But if you have dynasty questions or super flex, feel free to throw them out.
Right.
I'm more than happy to help. If you want us to look at your lineup, want to grade your lineup, you're free to do that as well.
No doubt about it.
You got a start sit question, hit us up.
Yes, sir.
But Vegas was great, man. I know we just talking about it. I was just wanted to say I was thankful to see you guys, man. And I mean, we just picked up where we left off. Everybody, I mean, Joe Morley, he was cool, man. Me and Joe, we chopped it up some, and just everybody was just genuine, man. We all had fun. The rain, we bring the rain every time we come. We bring the rain to Las Vegas. So it was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's different because I'm hosting a destination draft. I'm keeping us compliant with casino rules and sports bar. We're in someone else's venue. We're not in someone's garage. It's different, 24 page or 23 pages. You got family members there. So it's a different experience for me. But this year I was actually able to sit back a little bit and enjoy it and just take it in. And it was fun. It was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the raffles. I don't know if you guys got to do hot takes, but we try to make it a little bit different. Right. I think year 5 is going to be crazy in Las Vegas. I really do. Year 5 is going to break the hinges off. Here are my starters now. What you got for us, Mr. Santos? One thing I did last night in Brother Fox's home league draft, as well as I did in Vegas, a lot of people are talking about, well, who do you take? Prior to the news, you had Chubb or Ford. I took Brooks in the 7th round, and I took Ford in the 8th. And I'm going to manufacture my RB2. And I'm going to spend 7th, 8th round cost for RB2. Ford is going to carry me for the first 4 to 6 games until Chubb comes back and bites into that snap share. By then, Brooks is going to be the guy. He should be up and running. Even if Carolina's getting blown out, he's a full 3-down back. He's going to get catch out of the backfield. So that's what I've been doing. It's a technique that I just randomly thought about because there weren't a whole lot of running backs available. So I took Brooks, and then Ford was there. And I think that's one that's going to do well for me. And it's something, if you haven't drafted yet, maybe to consider. That was probably the highlight, is doing a Brooks Ford 7-8 switch.
I kind of did the same thing in the Vegas league. Mm-hmm. I was able to get my RB2 was Swift. But, Swift is going to be up and down. So I ended up picking up Gus Edwards. I got Zach Moss. And I even got Zamir White. So I can kind of, based upon the opponent, adjust it accordingly and, get that RB2 production.
For sure. Let me get into Santos's squad real quick. We got Goff, Pacheco, Connor, Wilson, Moore, McBride, Rashee Rice. Not bad.
So he took Wilson in the 1st, Pacheco in the 2nd, McBride in the 3rd, DJ Moore in the 4th, Rashee in the 5th, and then waited for quarterback. Okay.
Right. Which is smart.
Yeah.
Good. I think he has to have Benson. I think I would pick up Benson just because if Connor goes down and Benson takes the running back role and he starts shining. I mean, Connor, he's still going to get a little work, but definitely pick him up if you don't have him on your bench. But yeah, I like the team.
Yeah, I have DJ Moore in 2 leagues. Love the pickup. Rashee Rice, I think Rashee's going to eat. I think even in this offense, his target share is going to be high. With those 2 guys on the outside taking the top off the defense, he's going to eat in the middle. Trey McBride, I didn't draft him in any leagues this year, but the talent is there. And him and Murray had a connection that second half of the season that you can't really ignore. It is kind of scary to have 2 Arizona Cardinals on the same roster. That's a little rough. But I do think you got some sneaky production with Jared Goff. The man had 32 or 33 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, he showed.
Yeah, he had better production than Pat Mahomes last year. So yeah.
Right on, fellas. Looking forward to your content every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Sometimes 7:04, but we can go make it work.
Right.
So if you wanna write in about bad losses, write in about who you should start for the upcoming week, hey, feel free.
Yeah, and that the show is called Safe Space, and it's a place for you guys to come vent. So really, if you have a bad beat, I was in shout out to Jada Plug. I was in Jada Plug's analyst league, and I was up 30 points, and all he had was Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews scored 32 points on Monday Night Football, and that's when the idea came to me. That's kind of what gave the birth to Safe Space. I was like, man, I wish there was a place where I could come vent my frustration. And I think mid-season, like week 8, we started Safe Space, and I think like the loss came in like week 4, and we put the logistics together, and we got this ragtag bunch, and now we're rocking on what is this year 3 for us now?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Shit. My most memorable bad loss I was up at the end of the game. Monday, it was a Sunday Night Football, Denver Broncos against the Chiefs, and Pat Mahomes took a knee, and Pat was my starting quarterback. He took a knee and lost like that negative 0.5 because he had negative yards rushing, and I ended up fucking losing, bro. I lost by 0.2.
Right.
0.2, bro.
Nice. It says, do you prefer Yahoo, ESPN, or Sleeper? I feel like the community is transferring towards Sleeper, but
Right.
I still like Yahoo's layout, and also the who don't like the credit score.
Yeah.
The wins, gold, platinum, diamond, silver, bronze, that's something you can just dangle over someone that's not even in your league. Like, don't even talk to me, you little silver.
No.
I like Yahoo.
I look at it like I match them to like systems. Think of like Xbox is like Yahoo. They got Yahoo Xbox Live. Got that tradition. You see your score, you see your trophies, which is great. But at that same time, Sleeper's like PS5. It's that new hotness,
Right.
Sleeper only good for mock drafts during the off season. Once the season starts, get your ass on Yahoo.
Yeah, but hey, Sleepers, they stepped up when they had the little guys fighting, and they got rid of that crap.
That was so corny, bro.
That was the worst. So they did better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
You must have wrote them in, Biggie. You must have wrote an angry letter or something.
Hey, I did. You know what I'm saying? VHS tape. About we do it.
Okay.
Yahoo. I just think in the Rashid Rice, the 5th they gave like C+ and was like, oh, you picked Rice in the 5th or whatever. You just got to go with whoever you go with. Don't worry about the ADP and what they grade. I mean, obviously you want to see the diamond and the platinum and all of that, but I lean on that, but not so much the grade after the draft. You know who's your guy, and you go with your guy.
Thanks.
We got a roster up here. I think that's quarterback is Allen. This is a 14 team. It looks like half PPR. Allen, CMC, Aaron Jones, London Godwin, Kincaid, Christian Kirk at the flex, Chubb, Blake. Okay, I'm not mad at that. For a 14 team, that's really good. There's no complaints because a 14, that looks like a 14 roster.
He had the number 1 or number 2 pick? Took CMC, and then what? Aaron Jones?
No.
Then Josh Allen?
Jones is probably a 4th or 5th round pick. He probably went London Allen or Allen London.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then maybe Jones. Ooh.
I love Chubb and Quorum on the bench. I think by mid-season, both of those would be fantastic trade pieces.
Wherever I see Kirk, I'm excited. I'm telling you, I mean, I just think Kirk is a steal.
For sure.
Let's see, and this is a 10 team. So this team should be stacked.
Right.
You got golf as your starter in a 10 team?
The 10 team? Man.
Okay. The team better be stocked. We got Brees, Jones, Harrison Cup, Pitts, Ayuk, Pickens, Tua, J. Will, Gus. All right. Dobbs, JSN. We're not big on Pitts here.
Oh.
I'll be honest with you.
Mm.
This is your first time watching. Brother Fox is the biggest Pitts hater.
Hate.
Pittman.
I feel like for a 10 team, I feel like your 14 team might be better than your 10 team.
Agreed.
Now that I'm looking at it.
Now, if Cooper Kupp ends up returning to 80% form, you know that your wide receivers are pretty stacked. You know, Aaron Jones, that's a decent RB2, and having Ayuk there could definitely be beneficial for sure.
Yeah,
I do like Gus Edwards on the bench.
mm-hmm.
Brees Hall.
And Tua. I mean, Tua's going to be. I think Tua's going to end up being your starter.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not bad.
I think the
Not
first
a fan
two
of
games.
Pitts, everything else tonight.
Oh, I thought I saw a comment. My bad. Pitts and Pittman both trash.
Hey.
Hey.
You speak my language.
Hey, is that one of y'all burner accounts?
Hey,
Is that your burner account, bro? Fuck, is that why you turn it sideways?
Language,
I gotta
Is that why you turn it sideways? That Enrique?
Great call, brother.
Hey, both
Yeah.
dirt.
Hit us up with any questions before we wrap it up. We usually run from 7 to 7:30, 7:40. We did get off to a late start, so we'll hang on. If you guys have any more questions, any comments, come to Vent next Tuesday. Win, lose,
We got
draw.
one more squad. One more squad before we start.
Win, lose, or draw. Come back next week. You know, after Monday Night Football, we're gonna talk waiver wire pickups. Tuesday, come join us 7:00. You said you got one more. I'm gonna scroll down. I see it.
We got a couple more teams. Hey, let's
go.
rock
We'll
with
stay. All right.
That's a true 10-team league. That one for Bijan and Jacobs and Wilson.
Go ahead, Big E. You got it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, except for Pittman, we X off the Pittman. No Pittman allowed. I like Pickens, in his place. Really, and like I said, I got a love for Kirk, Adunze, Jonathan Brooks. You did great, brother. I think that I love that. I love that.
Solid. That's a playoff team for sure.
Yes, sir. You want to get that second one, the KP?
I'm trying it. Yeah.
Love, I don't like KP.
Ah, come on.
I hate Love. I really do. I think everybody jumped on the carousel, and I think which one I'm talking about.
Hot take. Love will finish top 5 in the MVP voting, my guy.
Definitely not.
Hey, that's different. MVP voting is very different than fantasy football.
Okay.
But hey, if he finished that high, he must have had a good year.
The team could have had a good year.
We had a half of a year last year, so we'll see if we can get a whole one. If we get a whole one, it'll be all right.
Okay.
We got Love, White, double White, Cooper, Puka, Garrett Wilson. It's a 12 team?
So he waited on running back. He must have been at the end of the first round. Took Garrett, took Puka on the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Then McBride, Cooper, and then Rashad White. Okay.
Yeah.
And Love must have failed.
Zamir and Kirk though.
I like Myers late too. Okay.
Yeah, I like Kobe.
Yeah, that's a solid squad, man.
That is.
That's a really solid squad.
Get rid of Mike Will right now.
Yes.
It's not if, but when he is hired.
Nah, let him do his acrobatic 128-yard, 2-touchdown game, and then he come down hobbling. Then you trade him. You got to let him have his game because he's gonna have a game.
What's gonna happen is he's gonna have that big game.
Then you trade him when the value's up.
I'm saying he's gonna have that big game when he's on his bench. Then he's gonna start him the next week and he's gonna get hurt.
But now he said,
fair enough.
But you said trade him. Like you said, if you have that big game, I would throw him in the trade.
Trade him.
Let
him
go
big game,
and
give him on somebody else.
Right.
Do a Gus Edwards for Mike Williams or Marshawn Lloyd or even you already got Benson.
No doubt about it.
Ooh.
I love the
Tua versus Jacksonville or Goff versus the LA Rams.
I think I'm going to.
Goff is at home, right? He played better at home. Like
He
night and
does.
day.
The Rams worked on their secondary all season. Though they made quite a big stir.
They
This
also
offseason.
lost Aaron Donald.
Right.
That's true. I personally I would go 2 against Jacksonville.
I'm going to it. For me, I don't know. It's just y'all guys. I mean, your
I'm
opinion.
gonna
I just like Tua. They didn't pay Tua for anything. Now he has to stay out the blue tent. We all know that.
It's early in the season. It's going to be a hot weather, regardless if it's in Miami or Jacksonville. You know, hey, yeah. Two are going to ball out. Tyreek Hill trying to prove that he's still the number 1 player according to the players.
I think Jacksonville improved their defense, and I know they acquired Armstead from San Francisco, and I want to say they acquired someone else. I'm gonna go with Goff, but I respect the Tua pick. I'm not mad at it. I feel like it's
I
apples.
feel like
and
you
oranges.
can't go wrong either way.
Well, yeah, the 12th best versus the 13th best quarterback.
Looks like we got another one.
I know. I'm trying to keep up. I'm going back to keep KP. He's got a. You just making this up? Oh, it said Brian. I thought it said Bijan. I'm tripping. I'm like, ain't no way you guys see him see Bijan. Ain't no way, son. That's another good squad. Is this a 12 team as well? Oh, it says I got 2 other teams, 12 mans. Y'all mind looking at them? Okay, we got you. Lamar, CMC, Brian Robinson as the RB2. Evans, Pittman, Andrews, Rice, benches, JK, Gus, Ladd. Okay. Yeah. And he got Kyler.
He got a lot of Chargers on that bench, bro. God damn. I was okay. His emoji is the Padres, so he's a.
Yeah. See, I was seeing that. I was there's a lot he gets both in that backfield.
You can't draft with your heart, brother. You got to draft by the talent.
Tua can explode because of the weapons. Goff got a revenge game against former squad. My bad. I'm trying to keep up with all of them because they starting to flood. Why is that? They don't show up on time. We know our demographic. Show up 15 minutes late.
Exactly.
Pick 2 PPR for week 1. DK, Diggs, or Ayuk. Ooh. Ooh. Go ahead, Biggie.
They picked 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy one for me.
DK and Diggs.
DK and Ayuk.
Ooh.
I think Diggs hit the wall. I think Diggs hit the wall. I was one who said it. I said, I mean, there was a reason they traded him. It was a reason they couldn't go to him. You know, Josh Allen, you think he didn't want to go to Diggs? I think he hit the wall. So I'm going.
There was a coordinator change last year, though, in Buffalo, which kind of dictated the way that they played. Now, it's like his target share at the beginning of the season was high. He was putting up numbers at the beginning of the year. They just weren't winning. So, it wasn't necessarily that Diggs played bad, the team played bad. You know? And so they switched it up the second half. They won more games. Personally, I think Diggs is on a 1-year contract. He knows if he's trying to get paid henceforth, he's going to try to ball out. And, why would they not try to showcase their new weapon on week 1? Yeah, I feel like they're gonna have a couple plays dialed up just for him.
I think they want to showcase it because they got Dale and Collins. That's one reason why you couldn't showcase it. I mean, he didn't have any really competition in Buffalo. Now, that's just for me. You know what I'm saying? Even if you change coordinators or whatever, if you're the best wide receiver, you're gonna step up. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you? I mean, okay, you don't get a few passes or catches, but I mean, you didn't get anything. You had some 0-point games. Come on, brother. I mean, that's what I think. But, I mean, hey, we have to play who we want to. I would go DK and Ayuk. Who would y'all play? Y'all would go with Diggs and who?
I'm going Diggs, DK. What you got, Brother Fox?
I say Diggs and DK as well.
What's going on, Albert? Hopefully you're doing well, man. Let me see what else we got.
Amber.
Oh, that was Amber. Shoot.
Amber.
What up, Amber? My bad. Same love.
So Diggs had an off season, but still had 107 receptions, 1,183 yards, and 8 tubs, and that's washed.
Yeah,
that's That's the
At the
starting
end,
wide receiver on the majority.
but
That's the
why
number one
could
receiver.
you start him at the end of the year? Could you start him at the end of the year?
Not at the end of the year.
All I need is no. That's
But
all I
like,
need.
think about it. If he had that much production with only a half a year really to show for it, come on now.
That was Jordan Love too. He did that too. He was dirt the first half of the season. Then he had the bye week and he came back and he showed out and everybody crowning him as the best. I'm just keeping it real.
All right.
I think he's gonna be a bust.
We might have to take it to the streets. We might have to take that one to the streets. What minute is that? That was like the 38th minute. We might have to chop that up and take it to the streets. Make sure you follow the Shot Callers IG.
No doubt.
We got
another one.
Yep. AR, Zamir White, Kyron. Is that Devontae London, Amon-Ra? Ugh.
Ooh.
Cup on the bench. This is 6 teams.
4.
Hawkinson, Coleman, Javonte.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great team.
Yeah.
To have Devontae London, Amon-Ra, and Cup while still having White, AR-15, and Kyron.
If AR-15 stays healthy, he should make the playoffs.
Right.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Should I start? Ooh. Should I start Devonta, Smith, Sutton, or Flowers? If you spent the draft capital, you got to start Smith, right?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Unless you just think Denver's going to get blown out and Sutton is just going to get garbage time.
And then you got Franklin that's going to eat, because the rookie and they together again. So, I mean, I would go with Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, why'd you draft him in the 4th, 5th round if you wasn't going to play him? Should I start? Well, okay, we already got to that one. Let's see. Y'all see any more before I'm trying to scroll? This thing is not user friendly. I think I got all the teams. I got all the comments. I'm up to 746. So cool. This is the last one. Oh, here he is. Got Devontae in the 3rd and London in the 4th. Was kind of shocked. Yeah, I mean, London shocks me. I think that's where he should be going. But he's been going early second, like first half, second round, just off of the absence of Arthur Smith as well as the arrival of Kirk Cousins. But we don't know what type of shape Kirk Cousins is in. And it is a new offense for him. Everyone is big on London and Pitts, like he's just some miracle worker. Like Jettas ain't Jettas and Hawkinson ain't Hawkinson. Like they were ballers before Kirk Cousins.
They were.
No one talks about that. No, hey, you see what he's doing with Hawkinson? Shit, like Goff was doing it with Hawkinson. Hawkinson been balling since. You're like, come on.
Hawkins just blue tint. That's all it is, Hawkins get hurt, he'd always be a top 5.
He always been a baller. Oh, you see what Kirk did with Hawkinson? You see what he did with Irv Smith?
Irv Smith.
We don't talk about Irv Smith no more.
Man.
What about Irv Smith? What do you do with Irv Smith?
Where
He's
is
got cut from
Y'all be
Kansas
so
City.
quick to praise. Oh, he's a tight end miracle worker. All right. Hawkinson is Hawkinson, bro. And London is dope, but he ain't Jettas.
Right.
I'm not saying that he can't be ball, but like they act like Kirk Cousins is some type of like he ain't Matt Stafford when he was throwing 5,000.
Right.
We got a couple more comments now.
Let's see. Fucks with the content heavy.
Hey,
We appreciate it, man.
Well, what's up, man?
Our style is not like everyone else's. We're not the nasally, ESPN, no shade, but they making their money. And we're not all stay tuned to find out why this running back is. We just a bunch of guys. This is therapy for us. We would do this if we were in person. Unfortunately, we don't live close to each other. So this is therapy. Hit us up. We'll give you little stat-based, little reality-based advice. And we'll stand 10 toes down. And if we advise you wrong, we own up to it. That's one thing we will be accountable.
Yes.
So when Tua doesn't outscore Goff this week, they're gonna be accountable.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely. We'll eat that. We'll eat that crow.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. When there's less viewers, more opportunity for me, baby. That's true. When the season starts, we normally get maybe 8 to 10. And it ain't crazy. We're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it for the attention. If the money comes, we'll be blessed for it. But this is, like I said, this therapy for us.
No doubt.
I gotta take my grandma out to eat, y'all. I hate to cut it short. Let's do another 3 or 4. I hate to stop while we hot, but I got my grandma visiting, 82 years old from Michigan. She's gonna take me out for my birthday.
Cool, man. Cool.
I hope y'all are human and y'all understand. I gotta feed the old woman.
No doubt. Hey, hopefully they'll come back. We'll come back and chop it up.
Yeah, please come back. We're gonna answer the ones that we got right now. What say you all to wait? CJ Stroud with all the weapons.
He's like, what's the silver?
CJ Stroud, does it take another step towards Diggs, Dell Collins, Schultz? Was able to get him in the 5th round. That's about where he's been going in 12 teams. Maybe a little bit earlier, but that's about where he's going. I have this outlook on him, and I feel like I've been talking a little too much, so I'll make it quick. Texans are really good, and they're not getting the praise because CJ Stroud is going to be in the shadow of Patrick Mahomes until he dethrones Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But the reality is they got better on defense. They got a better running back, and they got another offensive weapon. They're going to be ahead in a lot of games, and I think Joe Mixon is the guy to own because when you're up in front of a team 2 touchdowns, what happens? You run the ball. You're not going to continue to pass the ball up 2-3 touchdowns versus Tennessee. So I think he's going to do well, but they may not need him to throw the ball 35 times a game. He might be a 28 times a game. Those 7 attempts could hurt his stats. That's 7 less times that he's throwing the ball because they just don't need him because overall they should clean up that division and they should really be a 2 or 3 seed for the regular season. And it may even flirt because they don't have a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of talented teams to play in that division. So I like CJ Stroud as a talent, but in reality, that's a really good team, and they probably don't need him to sling the rock like that.
Facts.
You want a good quarterback on a bad team.
Right.
You remember Blake Bortles threw for 40 touchdowns to Allen Hurns and Allen was it Allen Hurns? Yeah,
Blake Bortles. I haven't heard that.
You didn't see me pull that one out the bag real quick.
You dug deep for that one, fam.
You sure? You sure about Ayuk over Diggs? Because Ayuk plays Sauce. Ooh.
Gotta watch the matchup.
Hey, Sauce be tugging on them jerseys too. If he get called right, you know what I'm saying, he'll get open. But we'll see what goes down.
Blake Bortles.
Blake, baby.
Hey, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Brother Fox, how can they take care of us before we wrap up?
As always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know by now, the HBO special is the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
We appreciate you guys rocking with us. This is Fantasy Football Safe Space presented to you by the Fantasy Shot Callers. See you guys next Tuesday. Good luck, week 1.
Yes.
Go Chiefs.
That's my quarterback.
Come back next week.
That's my quarterback.